Right now at noon, Storm Team 29 is tracking dangerous flash flooding across central Virginia. We are live on the scene in Albemarle County, where rescue crews search for 2 people swept away by the waters.
Well, here we are.
Rushing rivers
Road.
and streams are overflowing their banks, washing out roads all across central Virginia, leaving damage in the wake.
And NBC29 is live in Greene County, where a mudslide on the mountain shut down Route 33. A shelter is set up for people impacted there by the floods.
Right now, crews are searching the Ivy area of Albemarle County for a couple swept away in the floodwater during last night's heavy rain.
Albemarle County's fire chief says the car was repeatedly tossed and overturned in that water. We are also receiving reports that crews on scene may now have recovered 1 body from that. NBC29's Taylor Gleason is live on the scene where this all took place and where that search continues. Taylor?
Yeah, well, Matt and Sharon, our partner, the Daily Progress, is now reporting that 1 body has been found near Ivy Creek. Of course, Fire and Rescue have not confirmed this information as of right now. Now, we're here on the top of Old Ballard Road here. This is as far as Fire and Rescue are letting us go so that we can stay safe up here, because the scene at the bottom of the hill is still very active with flooding waters and roadways now starting to break apart. Now, the Albemarle County Fire and Rescue says that Ivy Creek swelled over the roadway, grabbing the Prius and another vehicle around 9:30 last night. A man and woman believed to be Albemarle County residents climbed out of the Prius but were swept away with the water. The occupant in the second vehicle escaped and was rescued. Albemarle County rescue teams assisted with crews from Lynchburg and did locate the vehicle.
We were hit with multiple bands of heavy rain starting yesterday afternoon through the night, which caused a huge amount of public safety calls for service, including water rescue calls, which overwhelmed our local and regional resources here in the Albemarle-Charlottesville area.
Fire Chief Eggleston believes Ivy Creek stretched about 100 yards wide from that rain last night and says the incoming rain today could potentially do that again.
Taylor Gleason live for us in the Ivy section of Albemarle County this afternoon. Thank you, Taylor. A search is also going on right now for a woman missing in flooding in Madison County. The sheriff's office there says it got a call around 8:30 last night with a report of a woman in the water who couldn't be found. Ruckersville Volunteer Fire Company was among the first responders called to assist with that. This is in the Syria area. Those crews say they were able to rescue 1 person who was taken to a hospital. Firefighters tell us a second person was reported missing, and Virginia State Police search and recovery team divers are now out there assisting the sheriff's office.
Rough go, and close to a dozen roads are closed this afternoon, and that includes Route 33, where a major mudslide is causing big problems. NBC29's Pete DeLuca has our team coverage. He's continuing that live from that scene. Hi, Pete.
Yeah, hey there, Sharon. That massive mudslide is near Swift Run Gap, and all of that rainfall overnight has caused flooding all throughout the county. We're here along Route 33, where you can take a look at just how bad this flooding is. It's still pouring down the mountain, and look just how deep some of these craters are from that water just streaming down. Now, VDOT Communications Director Lou Hatter says 10 to 12 roads are currently closed due to flooding. Greene County Sheriff Steve Smith tells me multiple bridges, including all 3 in Mutton Hollow, are currently closed. Both organizations are on scene at that mudslide, loading dump trucks with mud and removing it.
Several parks and trails in Charlottesville and Albemarle County are closed this afternoon due to damage from the overflowing Rivanna River. Both Azalea and Riverview parks are closed right now. Crews at Azalea are cleaning up mud and debris from flash flooding, but the city hopes to reopen the park by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Parks and Rec officials say the flooding over at Riverview is the worst they've seen in 30 years. The water is covering most of the swing set, as you see there, and the picnic tables. There's even an actual current from the Rivanna River you see there running through the park. Parks and Rec says it will have to wait for those water levels to go down before any cleanup can begin.
We woke up about 4 o'clock. The river sounded like a freight train.
The flooding in Greene County Thursday morning was like a bad dream.
I went into the kitchen, and then I thought I heard water in the basement, and went about 3 stairs down and realized the river was in the basement.
Now, a day later, homeowners along Middle River are living a nightmare.
We've been ripping out carpet, and we're starting with the carpet, getting everything trying to get it dried out, and then we're going to go from carpet to drywall.
But the damage to their homes is not even the biggest concern. This was Rocky Road, but the flooding washed it away, cutting off an entire neighborhood from the rest of the county.
This road has a history of being washed out and rebuilt. It's been washed out probably 3 times or so in the last 14 years.
Now, the only way in and out of their subdivision is through one neighbor's yard.
And there's an old fire trail that leads back behind the Baker's property up here, and they've been gracious enough to let us kind of trudge through and make it to the top of the hill.
That neighbor declined to go on camera, but says she's now in a battle with her homeowners association to get money to lay gravel down on the path.
The homeowners association has very little money.
Since Rocky Road is owned by the homeowners association, the state and county are not required to fix it.
Anytime this happens, there's no way that we can cover the expense.
The families who live here say this nightmare is going to last a long time.
It's definitely going to be a tough year, to get everything cleaned up.
This is probably a 1 to 2 year process. I mean, there's a lot of damage.
Greene County has declared a local emergency and is asking affected families to report all damages in hopes of getting relief from the state.
We're asking citizens to call into our Emergency Operations Center and report any damages that they may have.
Ivy Creek still flows strong, almost a week after a torrential downpour sent 2 vehicles and 3 people into rushing waters in Albemarle County off Old Ballard Road.
We probably would have never guessed that you'd have almost 12 inches of rain fall in that Ivy area, and you see what kind of devastation it caused.
On Tuesday, county officials held a press conference at Olivet Presbyterian Church to announce that they found the second person who went missing from a Prius. The first body was found on May 31st.
Anytime you're missing a loved one, it's tough.
According to the Albemarle County Fire and Rescue Team, the body was found just about a third of a mile away from this bridge, the last place where anyone saw this pair alive.
They can cover a wide range of area that we just can't cover by sight or our smell.
Officials say muddy conditions made the recovery difficult on foot and add that search animals were a valuable resource.
We should be prepared for anything. We should be prepared to be self-sufficient for 72 hours. In this case, fire rescue and law enforcement was tied up instantly on this case, and we couldn't get to all calls for service.
The other car that washed away last week was also found Tuesday. The driver of that vehicle got out okay and wasn't seriously hurt.
This phase of the chapter, is closing, but we still have a long recovery ahead of us.
Crews say there is still an issue in the Holcomb Drive community where 18 houses remain cut off. In Albemarle County, Victoria Rezzolo, NBC29 HD News.
It's great. It's awesome. It's a road.
Several weeks ago, people living on Holcomb Drive Extended became stranded. Flooding from late May washed out part of the roadway, leaving them stuck.
Starting from there and just the horror of what do we do? How do we get our cars out?
The neighborhood's homeowners association hired A.G. Dillard to fix the crater.
They came here last Monday and you could just see the drive in them. They put their heart and soul into filling this hole for us.
The hole, which was expected to remain for months, was filled in days.
We had one neighbor say it was like Christmas in July.
We said it was like Christmas when they showed up on Monday, and it was like New Year's when the road was open Saturday night.
The employees with A.G. Dillard say they felt for the neighborhood and moved quickly, working through the 4th of July and weekend. Now, things are looking back to normal.
All my guys, they're very dedicated to help anyone that we can.
It's been a very good experience, surprisingly so.
Neighbors say the hole caused a lot of problems and they are thrilled with how fast it was repaired.
They made it very short work, even though I don't know how. I wouldn't be able to say how they managed.
They say the silver lining is how close people living there became in short time.
We are coming out of it stronger and happier.